I came across these old Buckskin reports from the 1970s, from the mid-1970s, and I wanted to show everybody a look at them. They're very interesting look back at how things were in the reenactment community back almost 50 years ago. They were published in Big Timber, Montana, and each cover features a real nice drawing of a mountain man scene. Here's a fella playing the harp, and here's a fella playing the accordion. So anyhow, they were from the 1970s, and let me read to you a little bit about the Buckskin Report. The Buckskin Report, a new, easy-to-read magazine designed to promote in-depth all the activities associated with the sport of primitive-style muzzleloading. The Buckskin Report is published monthly for those muzzleloading enthusiasts who look upon their black powder firearms as being a direct link with their forefathers through the study of and use of such firearms, accoutrements, and even the clothing of those legendary figures of history. Today's primitive muzzle-loading enthusiast hopes to gain a greater appreciation of their heritage. The Buckskin Report features a selection of articles and illustrations that provide a wealth of humor, education, and assistance to the broadest spectrum of the public which finds interest related to primitive muzzleloading. Inasmuch as the muzzleloading scene is being rapidly expanded by the immense numbers of newcomers to this form of shooting sports, the Buckskin Report will attempt to assume the role of consumer advocate for the muzzleloading enthusiasts. Emphasis will be placed on articles related to safe muzzleloading firearm design, proper handling of black powder and the arms designed to use with it, product reports and evaluations of firearms and equipment offered this growing market. The Buckskin Report is produced for buckskinners by buckskinners. Back then it was $12 for a year's subscription, and that was a monthly magazine. So let's take a look at inside these old Buckskin Reports. Here's an example of some of the articles. In one of these, we have an article about the muzzle-loading shotgun, its care and use. Here's another one, a story, and it was Just the Wind, the story. And then there's these little cartoons throughout the magazine, and this one has a couple of mountain men. They're walking up the hill, and there's a bar at the top of the hill, and the one fella says to the other mountain man, "Don't tell me about it. If there's a bar up there, shoot the critter." Got a crossword puzzle. Here's an article about authentic hunting bags. The U.S. International Muzzleloading Team. There's several ads throughout the book. Here's one for a Western Trading Post, and they got Pendleton camp blankets in here for only $25, along with brass beads and some books on brain tanning. Here's some pictures of Rendezvous back in 1977. Look at all the beautiful teepees in there. Looks like it was held up near the Yellowstone River. Here's an interesting ad from L&R Lock Company. And the prices they've got listed here for assembled locks. Percussion lock, $45. A flintlock, $60. Kit locks, $25 and $35. Looks like they've got triggers here assembled for $25, a kit for $18, and that's L&R Lock Company down in North Carolina. Here's an ad that kind of brings a tear to my eye. Whitney blankets, that's a wool blanket out of England. They're going for $75 each, or two for $140. If you buy three or more, they're $65 each. I mean, that's just an amazing price on a Whitney blanket. Even now, you can get your hands on a old used Whitney blanket for those prices. They're pretty good, and here they were brand new blankets out of a place called the Possibles Poke. Here's some more articles in here. Buckskin and Mecca. Little ad here for the 10th annual Golden Spike Shoot, sponsored by the Ogden Valley Muzzleloaders up in Utah. There's an ad for Hawken flintlocks, and here's another one of them articles. Got an old mountain man there, and he's surrounded by some natives, and he's saying to the, looks like the fella that's in charge there, I suppose I can run as fast as the next guy? Why? So, here's another article. This thing is packed with information. More little cartoons. Here's a ad for a new catalog from the Log Cabin Shop. Now, there's a shop that's still around all these years later, and we've got all sorts of information in these books. These things were a treasure of information back then, way before the internet and the ease of getting information now. You anxiously awaited your Buckskin Report. We've got some oval fire starters here, or strikers, $6 from a guy by the name of Hoppy. And we got Blue Star teepees. All sorts of stuff in here. Here's a little column called Dinglehoofer Says. I'm sure that's some good reading there. And here's some stocks, some rifle stocks, and authentic hand-forged hawks, locks, another trading post. Here's the Waukegan Bay Outfitting Company up in Minnesota, and they're selling True Brown for $2.50. They're selling True Coat Oil Finish for $1.50, and True Blue for $2.50. There you have it. It's an example of these old Buckskinner reports. I'm going to end this video with this very cool picture of a Western teepee. So until next time, everybody, take care. Thanks for stopping by, and keep on trucking.